And record 1, record 2, record 3. How's it going, everybody? This is a live episode of the Mix It Up on Mixer podcast. This is going to be an episode where I talk about passion versus control. I think that's an important perspective to talk about right now and to bring some light upon. I'm going to try to keep this fairly short because this is going to be going on IGTV and a couple other things, also Anchor and everywhere else. So let's get to it. Passion versus control. So just so it's understood, passion, using that word, basically meaning your drive, the healthy part of it, the excitement you have towards content creation. When you wake up, well, hey, I want to do that. The excitement you go towards wanting to stream, all that stuff. That's the passion part. And the control, these are the positive aspects of it, because there can be negative and positive aspects. The control aspect is knowing when to stop, knowing when to make sure to take care of yourself, all that type of stuff. So there's a lot of passion versus control that goes on in the streaming landscape and gaming and creation, all that type of stuff. Just like, think about when you game and you're like, yeah, I want to play this game, I want to play for an hour, and then 7 hours later the sun's coming up, and that's the passion over control. That's the passion winning out and the control not winning out. So remember, too much passion can result as rage, aggression, condescension, or even fear, but basically just lack of useful focus. So remember, if you're leaning too much into the passion and really just letting yourself loose, you might be letting yourself a little too loose. So I just want to kind of lean into that, bring that up really quickly, because I think that's a good point to make. A lot of people, particularly even if you're, let's say you're pushing crazy hard and you're seeing incredible success, it's working out really great, that might turn into, because you don't take the time to really ground yourself, that may turn out into treating people differently, or like some streamers will say, like, hey man, he changed, bro, that type of thing. And you don't want to be the guy that changed or the girl that changed. So remember, passion versus control. So on the other end of that spectrum, too much control might remove some of the enjoyment, some of the reason why you do it, the reason why you get into this type of stuff. Too much control may overdo it. It may add stress. Maybe adds too much stress to you and to the people you work with and your teammates. So, let's say me as a team leader and as a captain, if I was too controlling and I was like, look, you guys need to stream at this time and all this like ridiculous stuff like that, no one would want to work with me. No one would believe in what I plan on doing and how I want to grow the team. But that's a perfect example, because I think these attributes are extremely important for everybody, but even doubly important for any of you guys out there that are leading teams or creating small pockets of communities and things like that. I think these perspectives and thoughts on these subjects are assets and are extremely important if you want to grow and grow positively. So remember, on that same line, there's going to be a lot of healthy versus unhealthy conflict. And the reason why I say that is because that's easy to realize. Like, think about it like this. Conflict for personal reasons. Like, let's say I had an issue with somebody. So I'm like, okay, let's use the forum of my community or my followers or my team or whatever. And I use that area to kind of air out something I don't like about somebody. That's obviously horrifically unhealthy conflict. That's conflict that's going to be stressful to the team. It's going to bring people down. It's going to look badly on everyone. Horrifically bad. But remember, if it's for the good of the team and not personal, it can be very healthy. Like, healthy conflict meaning really trying towards something. Maybe, like, for a great example is I've been waiting. I'm not going to name drop. But I've been waiting for a certain person to come on the podcast. I've been putting in months and months and months. And although the time frame is still right along the lines of what we said either August or September, so we're still fitting right along the lines. But I've waited months for that type of thing, and I can wait months a lot more. And that's the type of thing where I'm continually working towards something. It's a bit of conflict in the sense of it's a conflict of patience. But since I really want it to work for the team, and I know it's going to be an end result to be useful for everybody, it makes it easy. It's healthy conflict. It's something that you want to happen that's going to help everybody. So remember that when doing that, So when doing that thing, make sure those moments, those your time spent in towards those types of things, whether they're positive or negative, take a look at them from the back or from a distance and see what they are. Is it conflict that's just you, or are you doing it for the whole? So that's an easy way to basically see the difference between those things. Just look back and ask yourself those two questions. And I really think that you should use these perspectives to always expand and pay attention to your homies' needs. Your own, of course, but your team. I feel like you need to spend time understanding their needs and their goals, so then you can way better provide value and help them towards that. So in the end, like, let's say if you bring a ladder, and bring it to 5 different people, bring them up, and the ladder breaks, those people can just pull you right up. You know what I'm saying? There's a million goofy ways I could have put that, but you know what I'm saying? Help as many people as possible, and in the end, you've helped so many people. Whatever the goals you have personally will just come to you, because that's a big part of the team, and that's a big part of what whole statement is about. The statement we're trying to create, and the stamp we're trying to put on the gaming landscape as a whole right now. So, passion versus control, guys. Figure your gift and then give it freely. And I say that passion, figure out what you love, what's dope. Just lock onto that and then use it for yourself and for everybody else, for your team and for people that you meet, and for everybody out there. Just create with your passion and use and leverage control. Know when know the amount you need, whether it's control over your daily life, control over the amount of streaming you do. Because remember, that's why I keep bringing that up. That's why I want to say passion versus control, because you can really attribute that to so much of the day-to-day stuff, the behind-the-scenes stuff. Like, oh wait, should I put in more time? Should I put in less time? Am I pulling too much away from your relationship or your life in general? That type of stuff. So I really wanted to bring that up because I feel like that can help all of you guys, including myself, with personal growth, great personal growth. And I heard something recently from one of the greats out there, one of the great leaders out there and speakers, talking about how there's not really such a thing as fail. This isn't me. This is not a quote from myself, but it's not there's no such thing as failure, only unfavorable results. And I like that because it kind of makes me think back to my recent podcast where I talked about a bit of failure. It allowed me to second guess kind of and bring new perspective to those thoughts and think, you know what, most of that, maybe none of that was really failure. It was just an unfavorable result, but there were so many things gained from it as well. The experience gained from failure, the knowledge gained from things I need to do in the future, things like that. So I always have to remind myself of that and remind you guys when focusing on certain issues and certain problems and certain things. Remember, if you mess up or it doesn't work out, it's just an unfavorable result, and as long as you can keep trying, that's about as favorable as it can get. But beware. Let's say, and a quick warning, because I always like to give a quick bit of, I like to give a perspective and then a bit of practical advice. Here's my bit of practical advice that fits along the lines of passion and control. Beware of others that prefer drama over success. I think that's a big deal, and I've been running into that a little bit more lately, that people are really into they kind of feel like streaming and all this stuff is just one big movie, one big soap opera, one big drama show, and they're not really truly committed, and they have completely dipped too far into the passion and have lost all control. So there you guys go. I hope you guys got a bit of this. I hope this guys can help you gain a bit of emotional control by seeing this perspective from my point of view, and hopefully it'll bring it into your point of view. I want to thank you guys for coming along on this stream journey with me, because not only is this a podcast to help you guys out and to point you guys in the right direction and to show you guys about content creation and streaming in general, but it's also a podcast that you guys can follow a streamer who's finding some fair bit of success, coming up on 7,000 followers on Mixer and 1,000 followers on Twitter and all these other things. But it's so you guys can follow me and my team and my crew and my homies and the lovely MIXIN on our journey of content creation. So I hope you guys will help follow, and remember, on anchor.fm/JTFareeldoe is a way you can now follow and help the streams monetarily. So Thank you guys very much for listening. I'm going to end this at 10 minutes. And if you don't know for real dough, get to know for real dough. Peace, my friends.